Yo! Video games. What up, dudes, and welcome back to the YoVideogames podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Andrew.
And once again, thank you to all our generous patrons who kept us going for over 500 episodes.
Yeah, if you're interested in becoming a patron at any level, please check out patreon.com/YoVideogames podcast. Dude of the week is Fat Albert. Thank you, Fat Albert.
Thank you, Fat Albert.
Ben
I'm not
Duke
going to
is
sing a song for you.
Been around for a while. Thank you so much for sticking with us.
I mean, I could sing. I don't know. Maybe our producers want that. I don't know. Do they want me to sing?
Just like a lovely singing voice. Are you going to do it in Doom's lovely singing voice?
Doom's lovely singing voice. God, I'm trying to think. What is the worst sounding song? Like, what have I ever sang that is just the absolute worst? What made you want to like stab your head, cut your ears off? That I sang. If I ever sang something,
I don't know. I know that one time we all spontaneously burst into the Great Mighty Pooh song, and you nailed the hard part. I remember that, but that was like a random game night, and I can't think of why. And then I remember another time that you and I sang that. What was that song that we would sing on stream when we were doing the live episodes? It was like "Suck My Balls" or something like that. What was? We knew every word at one point. It was actually sort of sad, but we nailed that song.
Oh man, what was that called? Now you got me. I remember this now.
I don't know how we knew every song, but we would. If somebody said one line of it, we could sing the whole thing. So anybody that used to watch the live episodes that we used to do, we would do like the regular episode, and then on Thursdays we would have a live episode.
When are we going to go back to live episodes, Andrew?
Today's our first. Welcome.
No, yeah.
No, and there was like a song like "My Balls" or something like that. I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm
thinking of the other one. Like it's not the "My Dick" song. Super size, your dick look like two fries.
Amazing.
It's not that one.
My dick rumble in the jungle. Your dick touched by. Well, can't make those jokes anymore. What was that guy's name? That was.
Oh my god, I don't remember.
Mickey Avalon.
Was it Mickey Avalon?
What happened to that guy?
I thought he did the your mama song.
He probably did
someone else.
Yeah, I mean he definitely did.
Maybe that was Lenny G. I don't remember.
Is Mickey Avalon?
No, that was for K is for Kennedy. Did the "Nobody Loves You Like Your Mama Loves You"? That was K is for Kennedy. And yeah, Mickey Avalon.
Mickey Avalon's not dead. He's just 50.
Dick large like a pumpkin. Your dick looked like Macaulay Culkin. That's probably my favorite line.
You got a song called "So Rich, So Pretty" from 2006. There you go.
We're off to a great start here.
We're doing a very positive episode this time.
Very positive. Because these always tend to do so much better. We're going to talk about this is our boomer man, old man moment episode where we're just going to like straight up be like, I don't get it. I don't get it. We're going to talk about popular games we just do not understand the appeal of. There are times when I see a popular game and I kind of get why it's popular, even if I don't like it. But then there's games where I'm just like, I have no idea what you people see in this.
Yeah. Well, I feel like mine's obvious because I made such a deal out of it earlier in the year, but like Death Stranding 2, I've given up. I don't know why anybody liked the first one. People seem to really love this one.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't dived into it enough to really understand, but I'm just listening to people talk about how like, oh man, I loved doing all the, I love doing every quest. I delivered every single note. I'm just like, you sound insane.
Yeah, and like I'll see people post clips that are like totally amazing, jaw-dropping, insane thing. It's just like a dude slipping on a rock and falling down a mountainside and like losing everything. And they're like, look at the physics. And I'm like, I guess. I don't know. It does very much make me feel like an old man trying to figure out why anybody gives a shit about that game. And I like Kojima is the thing. Like I like his weirdness most of the time.
Hmm.
It's just a game that I don't understand. I think the combat's bad, the stealth bad. The I mean, yes, I was proven wrong. When you get a vehicle, it makes it a lot less tedious to deliver things, but
Well,
still mostly
why
tedious.
is a tedious task your main gameplay mechanic?
I don't know. I mean, I was reading something that said like he had this obsession with those guys, like old school delivery guys in Japan. Um, that he just found the concept so like beautiful and amazing and cool, and he always wanted to do something about it, about like connecting communities using these guys. And so
I don't know. I feel like if you were doing like a parkour game, like Mirror's Edge, but you were like, delivering packages while Mirror's Edging shit, that would have more merit than literally just walking across a desert or Ireland.
I admire the obsession, like uh what's that thing is like um everyone has that one subject that they're obsessed with. It's like trains or boats or rockets
Right.
or
Yeah.
like when you're a kid especially, or if you're on the spectrum, maybe you continue to be obsessed with, but like everybody when they're kids has that one thing they're
Sure.
obsessed with.
Sure. I mean,
You know,
Japan has like a whole arcade and simulator series of like being a train conductor. Just the guy who you literally most of your job is literally just like you have like this crank that like you turn horizontally to like
yeah.
brake and stop, and like they get like whole giant like multi-screen surround you cabs where you go and you sit in this little seat and you turn the crank to make the train go and you turn it, brake it to stop at the station, and you're just, yeah, I'm the train conductor, woo woo, and I'm like
And
it.
I admire that. Like if you're just all about that, great.
Well, there was a thing
I
where
don't
some
get
people
it.
were trying to, and I don't actually. I'm like, look, man, you love your thing, so make it your thing. Where someone converted their den or their office, I think it was their office, to look like the inside of a big rig, and they played a big rig simulator. Not like not big rigs like the shitty PC game. I mean, like one of the like legit,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
like
they
you're
had
going to
this
school to learn
whole,
to.
yeah, this whole setup of just like driving a big with a big trucker steering wheel, and like they had like the whole cab decked out. Their whole office looked like the inside of a big giant big rig cab, and
Well,
people were
other
like,
Matt has the whole race car
right,
rig
and
setup
people
where
go,
he's
why
got
doesn't
the
he just
3
become a big
screens
rig
and
driver? I'm like, because he's married and has like a family, and he's he can't have that kind
just
of.
dreams of the open road,
But he likes it. Yeah, like he liked the idea of just being, driving around, driving a big truck on the open road, and
the twin bed
do
in the back and a
yeah, and
microwave and
do I get
satellite
it?
TV.
Absolutely not. I don't get it. Sure. No, I mean, like, we don't get it. But there's kind of like you said, there's something to admire in someone that's dedicated to their craft in a way.
Yeah, well, when somebody's like truly nitty-gritty obsessed with something that you find like me finding it mundane almost makes it more interesting to me when somebody is truly obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I actually can sit there and listen to someone just sort of obsess over. So I'm not saying I can do it all the time. I'm just like,
Yeah,
if
I guess in a way it's like I don't think we're saying anyone's wrong. Like for your example, I don't think you're saying there's nothing wrong with someone who loves Death Stranding 2.
yeah, I just
You
don't get
just
it.
you just don't understand
I
what about this is appealing from a gameplay perspective. Like it boggles your mind. Like there's this chasm, this blockade, this fence where it's like the other side is fun, and I don't, and like there's this divide between
how
you
do I get there?
and like how
Yeah.
is this fun?
I the moment in any game, the moment I get like a mission or a assignment or whatever, and my first reaction is to sigh or to like, ugh. The moment that happens, I'm done.
Hmm.
Like I'm just like, there's. Conversely, opposite side of this, like I finally, because COVID is sort of forcing or had forced me to like chill out more than maybe I normally would. Um, I finally went through Doom the Dark Ages like properly, and I'm like, and there's it just feels like nobody talked about it really. like we didn't even talk about it that much. We both were like, yeah, we liked it. I played like an hour of it and was like, oh, it was
Mhm.
great, but didn't play through it. Now I've played through it. I'm kind of like, it's better than I remember. Like nobody cares. Like, nobody spoke of it. It's the 17th best selling game of the year, but it's like,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I went through it, I beat it. My fiance beat it multiple times. Uh, we both really liked the game. Like for us, it was a bigger deal than I think it was. Like a lot of gamers were. It was kind of like, okay, this game's good, and
yeah,
then that was it. And then like nobody was like. There's kind of a beauty in the fact that we're like a game comes out, it's good, people like it, and then that's it. There's no argument about it. There's no because the other
right.
side
There's
of
no
this
like,
is Claire Obscure, where people are talking to the death about it. And I literally got scared away by the game I was the first champion for. And I'm going to keep bringing this up because when it got announced last year at the Xbox showcase, I was on board with this game. I was super amped about it. I
right.
was I was always having to like remind people this game. Oh yeah, that game, whatever. Like people always I forgot this game was a thing. When did this get announced? I'd never heard of this game. I'm like, and I was always like I was like the side I was the champion for this game. It felt like for a while where I'm like, this is the moment, like this is so good. Are you guys hearing this? Are you hearing these soundtrack samples or whatever? And then right before it came out, and then as it came out, it exploded, absolutely exploded in
Yeah.
popularity, and the narrative got kind of insufferable around this game, um, because people started defend like people like it built this weird defense force, and part of it is like disingenuous because again the false narrative that unfortunately even Keeley was propagating about the size of the development staff, which even they themselves were like, please stop doing this. Like
Oh, right.
there
Because
were
they
more
weren't nearly as small as
yeah,
people were
there was
talking
more
about it.
than 33 of us, like like who worked on this game. Like even they had to call him out on it.
That's actually what
um
it's called, Expedition 33, is because there's only 33 people that
Well, that
worked
was like
on
the
it.
cute little thing. Is like that was what their staff started as, like their little what Sandfall started as, right? But like that's not the entire development team of the whole game. It was like, well, that was what our core when we were making it together. We assembled this tiny little team to get this project going, and then eventually it got funding, and then it got this, and then and of course it blew up because that game, of course, that game is. But anyways, that's not even the point. The point I'm trying to get at here is that like the fandom, the furor around that game kind of scared me. Like I don't talk about it myself nearly as much, and I'm not even all that like rah about it anymore because I'm like, all right, because now there's like such a vitriolic fan base that is like anytime that something comes now in contention where they're like, like for example, like Donkey Kong Bonanza, like, oh yeah, this is such a great game. It's going to be a lock for game of the year. No, it's not. Claire Obscure. Claire Obscure exists.
Yeah.
Arr,
Rabid fans.
like like a game with a good soundtrack comes out. It's like I saw Claire Obscure. Claire Obscure had a first time composer. He never done. He was found on Bandcamp.
It's my millennial contrarianism that even for games that I like, whenever there's a rabid fan base, I want to just rile them up.
Yeah, it's kind of like, whoa, guys, like chill the f out. Like no one's saying this game should not be in the conversation. I'm not saying the game should not be in the conversation for game of the year. I'm not saying the game should not be in the conversation for soundtrack of the year. I'm saying there's actually other games with great soundtracks that have come out this year, and
Do
not
I
even Donkey
slightly hope
Kong.
that it loses just to see how angry people get? Sometimes,
Well,
sometimes, sometimes
the
maybe I
only
just
reason I hope, the only reason it's not going to lose, it's going to win soundtrack of the year because of how much of a media darling it is. Because that's how they function. They only function on, oh, I played this, so I'll vote for it. Like I'm going to vote against something because I didn't play it, not because you actually are comparing things. You should abstain your vote, not cast a vote in the other direction. I'll just vote for the thing I did play. Like, but because I know I have firsthand knowledge of this happening with the judges of the Game Awards. So
right.
very frustrating.
Well,
But
it's how the Oscars always work too. My kid watched
exactly.
that
Yeah,
movie. And
yeah,
I
yeah. Which
voted.
is why I'm like, yeah, Joseph, you can say fuck the Oscars, but all Keeley is the Oscars. It functions exactly the same.
Which is what he
But
wants.
the only reason I would want it to not win soundtrack of the year is for people to finally understand what it's like for a lesser game to win. soundtrack of the year. To have a game that is clearly better and clearly should win and clearly loses to something else that while good is in no way, shape, or form of the same level as Clear Obscure, then yeah, there's part of me that's like, I want you all to suffer what I have suffered.
And that's why Borderlands 4 is going to win for soundtrack of the year.
Yeah, right. You imagine.
It's going to be amazing.
But yeah, like I've been scared away from Clair Obscur because of the ravenous fan base that quickly developed around the game, and it developed again because there was this idea that this was an indie darling, this was a passion project, a young team with a dream in their heart and a sparkle in their eye defeated the odds. It's this Cinderella, it's like this hero game, right? It's this Rocky sort of idea, and for the last 2 years, that's literally what's kind of won the Game Awards Game of the Year with Astrobot and with Baldur's Gate 3. They were hero games. They were the hero game. They were standing up against, the industry turmoil, against all the evils of publishers and investors, and they defeated it. The Baldur's Gate 3 story and the Astrobot story. It's the small team, the leftovers of a dismantled and disheveled Japanese team, and now they overcame the odds, and they had this little tiny game that was so much better than Concord.
It reminds me of the rabidity of the fan base for Undertale.
Yes.
Remember how rabid
yes
Undertale fans were for the long? I mean, they still are kind of, but there was at least a year, maybe even a 2-year period where anybody who played Undertale on stream had to deal with an absolute flood of assholes.
Mm-hmm.
I know, a murder of assholes
for sure.
Like pros and buttholes are murders. A murder of assholes. And I liked that game. I liked Undertale. I thought it was clever and fun.
Yeah,
but the fan base made me never play it again.
And that's kind of what happened a little bit to me with Clair Obscur. I was on board with this game before any of you were talking about it, and now I just kind of done. I almost do I think Clair Obscur is the best game to come out this year? No, I don't. I don't. It's not my favorite game. My favorite game this year is Pirate Yakuza.
Yeah, it's you've said that before. Yeah,
yeah, and I beat Shinobi last night. That's probably number 2. Shinobi is 13 hours of excellent start to finish.
I haven't played it yet, but I know what I'm doing later.
Oh, so good, so good. But that's getting off track here because again, that's going to dominate. How dare you say Clair Obscur? And it's like
Clair Obscur overrated. You heard it here first. We said it. We both.
Well, I mean, to be frank, I love the game. It's definitely top 3 or something of the games I've played this year.
We're being incendiary for the views.
It needs to be exactly. It needs to be insane. Clair Obscur is not goaty, chat.
I mean, I feel like me starting off with Death Stranding 2 was nobody's going to be surprised by that. At least anybody that's listened before. Maybe there's somebody out there that I've just really shattered their hopes and dreams. But you started this conversation before we were recording with an incendiary game that you said you're coming out against.
Yeah, I'm gonna come. I already did kind of with I think the last episode, but I'm gonna come out and just say I'm not really against the game. I'm kind of against the idea that people act like this is the only game of its genre that's existed in the last 10 years, and that's Silksong.
So how long ago did you play Hollow Knight?
I don't know. Maybe does it tell you on Steam when you played it last?
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't played Hollow Knight since
August 9th, 2018.
Yeah, I think that's around when it came out.
It came out 2017. I played it a year after release. So last time I played Hollow Knight was August 9th, 2018.
And we played it at the PlayStation Experience.
Sorry, Hollow Knight or Silksong?
Hollow Knight, I think, was that.
Right, yeah.
Well, yeah, Hollow Knight was that. Wasn't it a PlayStation Experience the last year that we...
The first Hollow Knight, yeah.
Yeah. So we played it then, and then I played a little bit of it. And I liked it. I'm not really because a lot of people were... Everything was Dark Souls for several years. Everything was getting compared to Dark Souls, and so this is definitely more of a Metroidvania than a Dark Souls clone.
But, it's a Metroidvania with a Dark Souls death mechanic.
Right. And so I liked it. I didn't have anything really against it. Um, it did get a following though that was again rabid. It was
Rabid. 15 million copies sold of this game.
people loved it.
And I'm not even against Silk Song. I've said my piece about the interviews that came out, but I'm just kind of like, guys, it's been 8 years. There's so many good Metroidvanias. Like, if you're a Metroidvania genre fan, you are not starved for content. What I don't get about Silk Song is not, oh, do I not? How do you not think Silk Song is great? I'm sure Silk Song will be great. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm just sitting here, just kind of like, why are you all putting on clown wigs and and red noses at every single Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony Direct for 8 years running for Silk Song? When I'm like, guys, you had fan fucking tastic Metroidvanias coming out monthly on Steam. It just boggled my mind where I'm like, this isn't like a thing where only Nintendo does it, right? It used to be in the 90s and early 2000s. It was like only Nintendo made Zelda games. They only made games like Zelda. So Zelda
Right.
always felt like a big once in a console generation treat to get a brand new Zelda game because nobody even tried to make Zelda. I mean, there are games that kind of are that are Zelda likes or Zelda ish, but nothing was like really truly gunning for like Zelda like. You know what I mean? Like truly copying the exact formula 1-to-1 of Zelda. Only
Right.
a few things, and they usually weren't as good or just were completely unknown. So getting a new Zelda game back in the day was like a big once a console generation thing. It was a big deal because there was nothing else like it. You were never you just didn't get anything like it anywhere else.
Right.
But
Like Resident Evil for a while, and then now.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, and it's like, but this is a Metroidvania, and they're dime a dozen, and many of them are of very high quality too. Since Hollow Knight came out, you've had Ori and the Will of the Wisps come out. You've had Blasphemous 1 and 2 come out. Steam World Dig 2, other games like Nine Souls. Um, Animal Well came out last year. So like even if games don't quite hit the same level, like you've had other things, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown and The Messenger and Metroid Dread, for God's sake.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Wait, did that come out in 24?
Metroid Dread? No, Metroid Dread came out in, what was it? 21.
21.
Um,
Okay.
again, there
I was
has
gonna say
been
my
no
gears are really bleeding together here.
there's no dearth of quality. Sorry, not dearth. There's no absence of great Metroidvanias that have come out. So to me, it's less about how is like, I don't understand why Silk Song is so popular. It's more like, I don't understand why people act like Silk Song is the only game in its genre. And people have told me that they're like, well, that's just how good Hollow Knight was. And to that I say, no. Hollow Knight's an excellent Metroidvania. Hollow Knight's in the conversation, sure, for like top 10 Metroidvanias. Hollow Knight did not do anything that other high tier Metroidvanias hadn't done before. There was nothing exemplary or done in a Hollow Knight that had not been seen before in any video game. It was not. It did not trend set nothing. It was just very good at what it did, and I'm sure the same will be true of Silk Song. So this one to me is very much a sort of like
Well,
it's
judging from
it's
that interview,
it's
they've got like a ton of groundbreaking shit that they just threw in because they were like the idea
maybe
popped to them.
hey maybe that'll be a great surprise. But like honestly, like to me the fervor, it was more just like the constant clown makeup people would wear for this game, where I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, you didn't get Silk Song this year, but guess what, you got Metroid Dread, you got other games that are like of super high quality, or you got Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Like, what are you complaining about? like
Yeah,
like
I mean, it's
that's the part
been.
I didn't get.
I think because indie games or indie companies, especially, like they lean on those older genres or older style games that major companies aren't making anymore. Like, yeah, you're gonna have like loads of really good Metroidvanias because that's one of the ways that an indie company can still shine. You don't need 200 people working 40 hours a week or more to make a Metroidvania that's really good.
Yeah.
Um, similar in a similar vein is like when people are talking about how good we've had it for RPGs this year, and the only RPG that they drop is Oblivion.
Or
And it's
Clair
like
Obscure.
Well, yeah, but like that's my point. Is like someone was like, "Oh, we've had it so good for RPGs this year." Oblivion came out, and you're like, "Oh." Of everything to name, not that the Oblivion remaster is bad. It's fine. I love the original Oblivion. It's not good necessarily, but it is a favorite. Um, I
It's
played
just
the
kind
shit
of
out
like
of it.
we've had a
Like
lot
of
of good
that,
RPGs coming out this year. What are you talking about?
no, yeah, no. There's been a bunch of great stuff, but
I
to
mean, let's
name
be real here,
Oblivion,
Andrew. This is a platform for Avowed, isn't it?
well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like there's Avowed is right there, and you name Oblivion remaster, or Clair Obscur is right there, and you name Oblivion remaster.
We got
It's like,
Outer Worlds 2 about to come out too
yeah,
as
that's
well.
about to
So
come out, and it's gonna be fun. I'm willing it to be fun. I'm gonna play it, and it's gonna be great. And we'll do an entire episode all about it, how we
there's
love it.
definitely a little bit of confusion, like you say, when someone's like, we're eating so well, we got Oblivion remastered."
Yeah, like
Okay,
what? Like, yeah, we are
Sh-
eating well this year, but like,
sure,
is that the thing?
sure, but okay, a remaster of Oblivion is more of a side note. That's more of like we got this, and also Oblivion remastered, rather than here's a brand new ass game, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's like because I'm just at that age now where the games that I don't consider old are technically like Oblivion. If you would have said before they announced the remaster, if you were all like, "Oh yeah, that old game Oblivion," I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Came out in like
Hey,
2006 or something.
hey,
It's like, oh yeah, that's 20 years.
Andrew. The Xbox 360 is turning 20 this year.
Eat a dick.
The
Okay?
Xbox 360 turns 20.
I'm young and beautiful, bald by choice. Um, but yeah, no, I can't wait until the next remaster of Skyrim. Yes,
Yeah,
it's going to
definitely.
be a very popular game that year.
Here's something that's going to piss a lot of people off. And this one, I'm actually not going to be like, oh, like it's not about, oh, well, I know the game's good, but like, why is it? Truly, I want to really dig into this because I hate myself. No, I don't hate myself. I hate all of you. What in the fuck at this point in time with this and with the amount of video games that exist in all shapes and forms? Truly, what is the why do people still flock back to Kingdom Hearts?
Ooh,
Here's my argument. Because the only thing that Kingdom Hearts at this point in time you can truly say does exceptional is the music. Yoko Shimomura, she's a goddess, makes amazing music. She has amazing soundtracks for Kingdom Hearts, amazing soundtracks. Nothing in that game, especially getting to this point now, is exemplary in any way. There's presentation, but I would even argue the presentation is bad. Like it's just visuals. Like with part 3, like wow, yeah, they like the way they made Frozen and Pirates of the Caribbean 3 look so close to their movie counterpart. That is technically true, but the stilted dialogue delivered with long pauses between each line, even all the way up to the last game, the fact that you're getting these footnote versions of these classic films, you're not even expanding. You're an RPG for fuck's sake, and you're not expanding on these films in any way, shape, or form. You just sort of follow characters around and watch recreations of really key moments, or you do really, really half-assed sequel shit in a completely empty city, like in Big Hero 6. Like, I don't understand
yeah,
because you're not getting like a big expanded view of these films or the film's lore. The characters can't even leave their own film universe from a weird stipulation that Square should have fought for by this point. And then you're going to be, oh, well, the combat in 2 Final Mix 21 years ago was so good. And I'm going to sit here and argue with you, okay, it's a real-time combat action system. Are you going to sit here and tell me that the combat in, say, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix is somehow on the same level as Devil May Cry 3, 4, 5, on the same level as Bayonetta 1, 2, even 3, or Metal Gear Rising or whatever? And you're going to say, well, those games are much newer than Kingdom Hearts. Well, Devil May Cry 3 is maybe a year, maybe some months older than Kingdom Hearts 2. So to me, I'm sitting here like, okay, but we got Final Fantasy 16 now to even like look back on, and like all the problems with 16, the combat system is not one of them. So I'm going to sit here and say at this point in time, the story is going nowhere. It's running in fucking circles. They're requiring you to play mobile games that are fucking shut down or canceled to like get all the lore from the games, and they're having to like side shuffle it off into other weird spin-off projects. Like
I don't mean this to be
you
shitty, but
have
are
to
they
you
still
have to like
making
do
them?
all kinds of fucking homework to stay on top of this shit. And for what? Because you know fucking Nomura is going nowhere with this. At this point, now he's just using it as a sort of like surrogate or Trojan horse to retell his vision of Versus 13, because that's where he's fucking going with it now. And like it, not only did he cut out Final Fantasy entirely out of part 3, but he's also like sidelined the fuck out of Disney itself so he can tell his weird original story that is going nowhere and is never going to fucking end. So to me, I'm just going to go right in here for the jugular here. What the fuck are you still on this series for? What the fuck does it provide?
You know, the
What does
first
it
one,
provide besides visuals? Because again, presentation, line delivery, script, horrible, truncated, footnote versions of the films that of the worlds you go to, combat that is clearly not the best in its class. It's clearly not the best real-time combat anymore at all whatsoever. And again, characterizations, characters, motivations, arcs, plots that are fucking going nowhere. It's been going nowhere for 25 fucking years. All you have left is a fucking soundtrack that's a banger.
yeah,
Why is this series still fucking gravitating towards people?
Disney adults. That's all I can get to is Disney adults.
That's my rant now, because now I have always sort of been, I've been against this game since I beat Kingdom Hearts 2. I imported Kingdom Hearts 2 because I was so into the series at a time. I modded physically modded a PS2 Slim to play Kingdom Hearts 2, the Japanese version that I imported and spent a bunch of money that I didn't really have early to play. I played it early, I beat it early. I was into the series. But it finally clicked for me at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm like, this is never going to fucking end. This is going fucking nowhere. And all the fucking excitement about, oh, there's a Tron level, there's a Pirates of the Caribbean level, there's a Steamboat Willie level. And then you fucking realize these level designs are trash. They're trash. They're trash level designs. And they do nothing with the properties they adapt. Like it's literally just fucking Ready Player One at this point. Remember this? Remember that? Remember that? Yeah, that's all we have to say. Do you remember it? Sure. Okay. Now let's spend the next 10 hours talking about Zenmus and Ansem and the 13 different Keyblades and the Keyblade War, blah 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 blah. I was like, oh, okay. So what the fuck was the point of these movies then? Like it's almost like you're sitting through like some lecture in a history class, like a really boring class, and then every so often someone flashes something in front of you that you enjoy or something like that, like, and then back to the lecture kind of thing. It's like, what are we doing here? So again, I ask, like, at this point, I feel like you're only invested in this because you've been fucking locked in since you were 6 or 8 or 10, and now you can't fucking let it go. But at this point, I'm like, what? This series is running so long in the tooth. It's going nowhere. There's no fucking end in sight. They're requiring you to sign up for fucking mobile games, some of which don't even materialize, to keep on top of the lore. And again, you're not getting a full version of any fucking movie story. You would have a better time marathoning the Disney Renaissance. You'd get more out of it. At least you would have closure. So,
well, I mean, I remember the magic of the first one, but I never got hooked on it, so I didn't have that cult-like following for it. Although I did know somebody that did. They moved away to they moved to a different state, and I remember I got them a copy of the game and a PS2 Slim or something for the second one, I think maybe it was.
yeah.
And smuggled it to them because their parents, it was the devil. Their video games are the devil. So we figured out how to get it to them.
Nice.
I remember
good friend,
that.
Andrew. That's a good friend. But yeah, at this point, I'm just kind of like, what is keeping you attached to this series at this point? Because every single thing in that game is done better somewhere else.
Same thing as Disney adults. It's the same drive that Disney adults have.
least you
Like,
could argue though that like Disney, like sometimes Disney movies are really good though. They make really good
yeah,
movies
no,
on occasion.
I'm not. It's not that I'm like trying to shit on Disney adults. Just my point is like you get attached to that nostalgia, that memory of where you were and how you felt the first time you saw so and so
Mm,
Disney movie, or in this case, so and so Disney or Square Enix character in
yeah, yeah,
Kingdom Hearts, and then you just don't let it go. But it's like think about how much money people will spend on Disney chasing that same feeling they had their freshman year of high school or whatever it was, you know. Um, I think it is that same
yeah.
drive
And,
because the first time I played Kingdom Hearts, I was on a break and it was like like I felt great about it. Like my brother and I went through it and we had a wonderful time. Like it was really, really wonderful.
mhm,
But in hindsight, like nothing about that game is hyper memorable to me gameplay wise.
yeah.
Like maybe building that weird gummy ship or whatever it
Oh
was.
god, that show sucked though.
Like it, but that's like the only thing that pops out in my head gameplay wise that like sticks out. And you know, the first Kingdom Hearts, what year did that come out? That came out,
Like 2002 or three.
yeah. So I would have been like seventh
It
grade,
was
eighth grade.
2002, something like that.
You know, it's like that summer or that I forget which break it was, but we played the hell out of that game.
I think but the other thing I'm also looking at here is like the practicality aspect of it,
Yeah.
where I'm looking at this very practically versus like, dude, when you love something, you don't need a reason to love it. You just
My
love
wife
it.
is definitely getting Borderlands 4. We are at a point in the Borderlands series where there is no reason to get a fourth one. You know, you know what they're gonna do. I like Borderlands and I have no personal drive to get Borderlands 4, but my wife is definitely gonna get it, and she's probably gonna get like whatever the high tier one is to get
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
this, and she's gonna play the shit out of it. She's gonna play it
And
a
she's gonna
lot.
enjoy it. And the thing is, I guess really too, like what you're saying here is the same thing with me. It's like I don't
Fucking
think
baffles me.
I don't think that they should not make Kingdom Hearts and people should not like it. I'm not saying like, I sounds like it, but I'm like, I'm not saying like you're a terrible person if you like it. I'm just sitting here like rationally explain to me what this even provides anymore. And I think what you're saying here is like, well, there's no rational reason to be excited
Yeah,
about a
there isn't.
Borderlands 4. It's just you
I don't
like
get it.
Borderlands.
I'm gonna be so happy for her as she plays it and enjoys it, and I'm not gonna understand it. I'm gonna watch her play it for like 20 minutes. I'm gonna read a book. It's gonna get me to read a book. No,
LeVar
I'm gonna
Burton.
play it. She's gonna get it, and then I'm gonna play it. Yeah, but that's how I feel about like the newest Assassin's Creed, where like I liked it. It's fine, but like people that love it, that are like, this is the best one they've done in years, or this is the best one they've ever done because it's finally in Japan and people have wanted it forever. And yeah, but like, is it the best one that they've done? Is it that much better than Odyssey?
I've never gone through an Assassin's Creed start to finish, but you and I have this similar trajectory where we got Assassin's Creed Shadow, we played it, we enjoyed it, we didn't
Yes,
complete it,
it's
and
fine.
our looking back, it's fine, it's fine,
And I don't have anything bad to say about it.
yeah,
I
like
like it.
like gameplay wise or whatever.
Yeah, if somebody was like, "Hey, I'm gonna get this game," I'd be like, "Hell yeah!" Like you know,
I think
do
there's a
it.
weird with Assassin's Creed Shadows in particular because a lot of people were talking about because there was anytime someone said, "Well, I wish it looked better," or it doesn't, and people are like, "Do you have any idea what is going on under the hood?" And if you break it down and you look at the game and you think about all the physics and wind and what the branches and leaves and how all the environment is acting individually and all the minute details in every single like aspect, and it's like no, that is an incredible game graphically. But for some reason, it doesn't initially come off that way. And I'm like, because they're going for hyper realistic colors. Because we naturally are
Right.
going to compare this to Ghost of Tsushima. And Ghost of Tsushima, it does actually tries to skew reality really hard. I say romanticizes, but really what it does is it just oversaturates everything. So you have these unbelievable, oversaturated, colorful moments in Ghost of Tsushima, which hides the fact that it is nowhere near as detailed as Assassin's Creed Shadows. Nowhere near. But
Yeah, I mean, I would say
that's what
Assassin's Creed
happens
Shadows
when,
is a good-looking game.
I mean, it is by all technical accounts.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Shadows is an excellent looking game. But why does Tsushima stick out in your mind? And I'm like, because of the artistic direction and the oversaturation. It's like it's
Yeah,
like why you remember what Fury Road looks like at any point in your life, because they decided to oversaturate the fuck out of the colors.
people really do, especially on the internet, love saturation. You'll see when people like edit photographs for like Instagram or some shit, like they always just like oversaturate the shit out of it.
I prefer that to undersaturating or muting or blurring or fading. I hate
As long as
faded
it's got
look.
a purpose, I like all of it. But like
I
it's
don't know.
just
For me, I like really bold and really deep colors.
sure.
Really deep. Which can be said like oversaturated is when shit sort of like bleeds together and it almost looks like messy. And I just like really bold, really deep colors on stuff. Like I prefer that in an art style. I'm not huge into the very faded, the Street Fighter 6 kind of look in a way where things have a sort of fade to them or um, muted colors. I really don't like that at all.
There was this thing, especially in like film school and stuff, where people didn't know that you had to do color work on log footage. And so log footage is just very flat and has that like
Mm.
faded,
But I mean, if
unsaturated
your
look.
color grading doesn't match the rest of your film, you're just going to stick out like a real sore thumb.
Well, yeah, but like people they wouldn't color grade at all, so it'd be ungraded log footage. And for whatever reason, film students especially started to look at that as the cinematic view because a cine camera would
Mm.
that's the raw footage that it would give you because you'd have to up the contrast and do all that stuff in post to make it look however you wanted it to look. But that ultra flat look became synonymous with an entire generation of
Ugh.
film students as being cinematic. And so there was just this like period of time, maybe 2, 3 years, where like people would just be posting log footage that looks like shit to anybody that knows better, but like it'd be like, yeah, it's cinematic. And it's like, well, just because you didn't do anything with the footage doesn't
So
make
like
it
the
cinematic.
gray filter, the chrome filter that was
Kind of.
popular in movies, and then there's like the piss filter. Anywhere south of the Rio Grande has to have like a
Has to look
brown or
like
yellow
this.
piss
Yeah.
filter. I'm like, oh my fucking god.
Trying to
It's
find a
like
good
I've
image of
been like
log.
one of the
Oh
most
yeah.
colorful places I've ever been to, like visually colorful. Like the sky is like blue and like the greens are really green. You
Yeah.
know where that was? Quinta Mexico.
Yeah.
One of the most colorful places I've ever been as a human being ever. And then it's like, oh, if you were to go to Mexico in a movie, it's yellow. It's like, fuck you.
Well, especially because like a lot of the time when they put Mexico in movies, they only show northern Mexico, which is a desert.
Sure, but it's like,
They're like, yeah,
well,
all of Mexico's a desert. And it's like, well, everything south of Mexico City is lush,
is like actually
beautiful
lush
rainforest.
tropical. Like what?
It's so lush that it's taken them years to build a train line to the coast because the forest grows too fast. But
It's amazing.
here's piss filter northern Mexico.
Yeah.
Everything's Tijuana, apparently, if you've never been to Mexico. I'm trying to think of another. I mean, I've said this before where I just like Monster Hunter loses me so fast. But also, I understand why people
Mm.
love the loop, but it's always Monster Hunter's always going to be. I've tried it twice now, two different
Mm.
Monster Hunters where I've tried to get into it, and it's grinding the game, and it doesn't do it for me.
You know, it's
Uh,
funny. You might even like Wilds for that because Wilds is actually going through it because it's way too easy. Monsters die way too quickly.
so you don't have to sit there and fight them for 20 minutes, and
No, they die in like 5 to 10. They die fast.
that's
Monster
insane.
Hunter Wilds. They die really fast, and the game died really fast because of that. Because
Really,
yeah,
people just really love the grind.
no. Well, okay. Here's yes and no. Some people do love the grind, but the other problem is that like if monsters die fast, it means you carve them. It means you get their loot fast, which means you build the gear and weapons you want really fast, which means you're going to get what you want from that game twice as fast as the other one. So you're going to be done with it which is exactly what happened to me. I'm like, oh, they die fast because you kill the monster and you loot its corpse, and then you take all the different parts. It's
And go make
RNG. What parts you get, and you have to take the parts, take that to the blacksmith, and he makes armor sets and weapon sets for you based off the dinosaur or the monster parts. When they die really fast, and they don't even really have that bad of, their drop rates are actually kind of generous in a sense. It's not hard to go get everything you want really fast in that game. So there's no reason to come back.
But is it a flaw?
You bounce
then?
off it real quick.
Is it really a flaw, or is it they just finally made a game that people didn't have to grind for 6 years to get the things they want? Like, I don't know.
They're definitely looking at it like we definitely did something wrong here because people bounced off the game really fast and the sales just plateaued immediately. I would say because the game is an unoptimized mess that runs poorly on everything. And the fact that 3 of the 5 hunting environments are caves that have no visual appeal whatsoever. And
like,
then
those
the other
sound
2,
like more of a reason.
Yeah. And the other 2 zones, because they did we have seasons now in Monster Hunter Wilds. We have 3 changing seasons. Well, one season is like everything looks hazy. One season is stormy or rainy. And then the third season is really nice and beautiful. So in other words, you can't tell what season it is when you're in 3 of the 5 areas because you're in a fucking cave.
Right.
So what difference does it make? It's shittier and non-shittier. And then when you're in the desert or in the rainforest, it's like, okay, well, 2 of the 3 seasons look like shit. So the only time it actually looks good and you can see clearly is 1 season out of 3 in 2 of the 5 areas. Yeah, I bounced off the game pretty fast.
Yeah, so you know what? Maybe I'm not alone. Maybe just Monster Hunter Wilds nobody gets.
No, nobody can. So I'm sure Capcom's probably scrambling to try to make a big expansion pack to like fix probably a lot of what was done with the Worlds. But you know what? I seeing as you say that, and I kind of feel you. Even though I got addicted to Worlds and to Rise, I kind of understand what you're saying here when you're just kind of like, it's grindy, man. I'm like, yeah, you kind of just, you go out to a spot and you just fucking wail away on this thing for like half an hour.
And again, more power to you if you love that. I just don't get it. And the thing is every time I don't get a game now, like when you're young, it's so easy to be like, yeah, I don't get it because it's bad. Like you just assume that whatever it is, I hate it and it's bad and I don't care about it. But as you get older, you try to have nuance. I mean, if you actually grow up, shout out to all the people who never did. But like, even now where I'm just like, I wish I understood why people want to grind on it. To me, it's like coming home and going to another job. You just sit down and
it kind of is,
I
but
go
again,
back
that goes
to
back
the
to
mines to get my monsters.
That literally goes back to Death Stranding too, Andrew.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, it's like, thank God I got off work and now I'm gonna walk for miles.
There's a growing contingent of people out there who love job games that are basically jobs, and I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Well, that's why I never understood the like love of MMOs. I never got super into MMOs. You know, I tried several times with WoW because my brother was very into it and he wanted me to play with him. But he would be like excited. He'd be like, yeah, I play for like 16 hours a week or whatever the hell it is. And it's like, and I'm in the top guild and I have to be, if I miss a certain, you know, dungeon run or whatever, a raid, then, you know, I'm kicked out of the rotation. So I got to show, I was like, okay, so you have to show up to play your part in a raid to get other members' stuff because you've already gotten all your stuff. How is that not a job? Like,
it's like being committed to the world's most stringent bowling league or something.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, and then he was in multiple like clans or whatever, and so he'd be in this one clan. It was like the number one clan. He was the number one sorcerer or something like that, or wizard or whatever the hell on his server. And so he got invited into the number one raid clan. And then he was also like really high up for PvP. So he was like in this other clan specifically for PvP. And it's like, okay, so 5 days a week, you have to be somewhere for 4 hours. And it's like, why are you That sounds terrible to me. I don't want to do that.
But if
Not
you
to
know
mention
what,
all
though,
the grinding you have to do to just get to
I
that.
think when you love the game, you don't even notice though, like the
I
time sink.
absolutely true for him, but like that was another thing that made it really hard to play. Like him and DJ, they played so much of it that they could level up really, really fast. And so they'd be
Mhm.
like, "Oh, come play with me." And they'd start a new character so that we'd all be the same level. And we'd play for like 4 hours the first day. And then I would have class or my like actual job and I wouldn't get on one day. And then the next day I'd get on and they'd be like level 35 and I'd be level 6. Yeah, I'd be like, "What the
And you're like, what? You're like, what did you do, dude? This was a day ago.
Like, what the fuck?" And it's like, "Yeah, we haven't actually we haven't logged off." Oh, okay. So you're what? You're pissing in bottles, which I did know. I by acquaintance know of a guy who used to take those 5 pound jugs for protein.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he would use them all, and then he would just keep one by his desk or by his couch, and he'd pee in them. Yeah, I don't want to play that fucking game. That
Oh man.
doesn't sound like fun to me.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
Yeah, but you can't get up. You can't get up to go do anything. So you got to pee in a whey protein bottle. You sick fuck. Yeah, I would love it if it just by happenstance that guy was listening and they're like, "Somebody told you about that?" Yeah, they did.
Who
Just
told?
bottles
Who
everywhere
told
in your
you?
house.
Oh
Um,
man, you're ashamed of your words and deeds, as Kojima might say.
it's one of those things where it's like I can understand the draw of like a world to an MMO. You know, I've tried to get into WoW several times. Uh, I liked Fantasy Star Online, but
Yeah,
that was MMO light.
that was Diablo.
Yeah, like
That was
I
3D
played the hell out
Diablo
of
in
that, but
space.
like, like I didn't feel like I had to always be on to enjoy it. Um, but it's like, okay, WoW, tried several different times to get into WoW. And one character I got all the way to max level one time and still like that was another thing people would be like, "Oh yeah, you have to get your character to max level and then the game opens up." And I'm like, "Oh, the game gets good when I do everything and then I can choose."
Exactly,
Oh,
and
fuck,
the
that
end
sounds
game
terrible.
is good. Like, oh man,
It's like you guys with like 11. I remember.
I played 11 to level literally like level 11 or 13. And I gave up.
Oh
I
yeah, well,
played the
like
game for a
Justin and
month.
Max and everyone would be like,
They
"You
were
gotta
all
get on
addicted.
11."
Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be ousting our friends like this.
But
But there was one time I went over. You know what? Yeah, it's fine. He wouldn't deny it. I went over to Max's house. I forget we were gonna go do something or go get lunch or dinner or something. I don't remember what it was. And, like, go hang out, go eat or something. And he was on this beach in the game, and he had this special PS1 third party controller from Japan that had been bought and purchased and rigged up with a keyboard hooked into the PS2, or maybe it was on the PC, all on the PC. I'm not really sure which one he
I
was
think he
playing
was
on.
PC. Yeah,
And it would basically, what this would do, it was just standing on a beach, and it had like auto shortcutted this thing where it would open a menu and scroll through all the enemies. It would target all the enemies in the area, just scroll through them. So it was scrolling all the enemies in this area on the beach. And so I'm like, what is he doing? I'm like, oh, waiting for this. So he's waiting for the Emperor Valkyrum, or whatever it was called, Emperor something, to spawn. It was a big bug, like a big wasp hornet bug thing. But it was a rare monster. He's waiting for the Emperor Valkyrum to spawn on this beach. And when it spawns, they had to run over to it and kill the thing because it had this rare drop. So it's a rare enemy with an even rare drop. So you get this Emperor's pin. So it drop this pin. And the reason they would be scanning on the beach was whoever killed it would be the first in line to get the drops.
right.
So, if he just saw it, if another person or group went over there and killed the big Emperor and got the drop, they would miss out on it. So this thing had a 2 or 3 hour cooldown. It would spawn like every 3 hours. It would spawn, and then you'd have to run over it before other people could get to it, kill it, and then it had this 1 in 100 or 1 in 200 chance of dropping this pin, and you needed to take like 15 of these pins to trade it in for this one thing in a town. So the blacksmith would give you some piece of armor or like a slot, like an
Yeah, go
add-on
fuck yourself.
to your armor that would give you, it would give you this thing. And he was sitting there for fucking days and weeks. Max and Justin, sorry, I saw you both fucking doing
Oh yeah,
this.
no, they were. Tony was there
You
too.
imported
Yes.
a fucking controller that would be scanning constantly, and you would just sit there and wait for 3 hours for this enemy name to appear on the search menu, and then you would run over to it and you would kill it in hopes that this rare enemy would drop an even rarer item, this pin, and you needed to collect like 15 of these pins to trade in to get this one thing, which would do a single digit percentage upgrade on your armor. And I was like, you are all fucking insane. You have all lost your goddamn minds.
Yeah, they would, and I remember them like one of them. I can't remember if it was Justin or Tony or who it was, but like sold their character eventually, and like got like actual money for their character in
Good money
11.
too.
Huh?
Good money.
Yeah, good money
It
too.
was
Yeah,
good money too. It was not cheap. It was not a cheap amount.
it was just like I don't. That sounds like a job or an investment to me, and I don't want. I don't
But this
understand.
is what they would do. This is how they would spend. The thing is, whenever I bring this up to other people, they, oh yeah, oh the emperor pin. God, I remember that. Oh yeah, and they have this
Nostalgia
glowing,
for it.
cherished memory of sitting in a video game, staring at nothing, waiting for a name to scroll through like pop up on a menu every 3 hours to run over and hopefully get a pin, which would only happen like once, maybe every few days, where they get this pin, and they needed to do this 15 times so they could trade it in for something that gives them a tiny little minuscule upgrade, but it makes my spell gift that gives me that 5% boost to my spell. And I'm like, holy fuck, you've lost your goddamn mind.
And then Max would refuse to play Search and Destroy with me because it's boring. Well, you got to wait between rounds. Not if you're good. You can kill everybody. You don't have to do any waiting at all. Well, no, I'm not doing that. But you'd wait 3 hours for just cold blooded.
This was 20 years ago though, but I'm like,
yeah, no.
As you said, Tony did it, Justin did it, Max did it. They were all like a
Dan
group of our friends. A group of our friends were doing this. They were waiting on this beach days on end to fight this bug to get a rare pin drop.
To this day, anytime someone's all like, "Yeah, it's an MMO," and I'm immediately clocked out. Like I have to work to pay attention past finding out something's an MMO. Oh, Dune's got an MMO coming. I don't give a shit. don't care.
And that's where it's like, you've lost your fucking minds. When I had this explained to me, what are you doing? And it was explained to me, I'm like, you've lost your mind.
You know, the other thing is like switching gears to like Dune. Why would anyone want to play any game in the Dune universe?
Dude, I was catfished into a whole presentation with the devs for that Dune MMO. I thought we were watching the movie. We were, but we also had to sit there and watch a whole fucking presentation on their Dune MMO. And I'm like sitting here, the first thought that crosses my mind, and they joked about it during the presentation. They were good about it. But I'm like, why the fuck would you want to play a game where you're stuck on Dune?
Yeah,
that was my first thought. Where they're like, yeah, it's a desert, but we did Conan, so we feel we can make deserts look interesting. And I'm just kind of like, good luck.
It's like, and then also people being like, yeah, and you can like you can harvest spice. One of the literal worst jobs in the universe in the book. In the book, they describe it as one of the worst jobs you can have, and you're excited to do this.
My Dune.
I'll never understand it. Any final game, Old Man Screaming?
Yeah, this is Old Man here, and I'm gonna piss a lot of people off with this one, but I'm not. It's not because, okay, Kingdom Hearts. I feel like I literally like dunked that thing into a fire pit head first. I'm not gonna do that for this Trails in the Sky, all Trails series. So let me regale you a little bit here, Andrew. Okay. There's a series called Trails in the Sky and Trails of Cold Steel, Trails from Daybreak.
Trails of Cold Steel.
It's called the Trails series, right?
Yeah.
It's all interconnected. There's 3 Trails in the Sky, 4 Cold Steel. There's going to be 3 Daybreaks. They're on the 2nd. The 3rd's coming out, and then there's like a couple in interquels of like Azure, Crossbell, Reverie. So what it is they're all connected. They're all in the same universe. They're all roughly within this I think 4-year block of time.
Okay.
And it's a very and it's like it's kind of like a Romance of the Three Kingdoms, if you will, but medieval fantasy Europe, anime fantasy Europe, medieval-ish setting, right?
I got
Where
someone a Trails of Cold Steel, or like a Cold Steel. I got someone a
it's
pin.
gaining popularity.
Yeah, there was an E3 one year where someone messaged me on
Oh, the
Twitter and
pin.
said,
Yeah, we still
yeah,
have those. Yeah, Trails of Cold Steel 3
yeah,
pins.
yeah, I got someone a pin from, because they asked me to, and I stood in
Yeah.
line for it, and people were all like, "Oh, don't you love this game?" And
So
I was like, "Yeah," but I
these
didn't know.
things are actually these are actually quality games.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, they're very budget. They're made very quickly. Made very quickly. Um, I think I said that twice. Cheaply and quickly. But they're actually pretty. They're actually solid games. A lot of asset reuse, very much like Yakuza series, if you
yeah.
will.
I
Like,
remember being shocked by it because I hadn't heard of it, and then because this person asked me to get him a pin, I went and I think I did like a demo or something uh, at E3, and being kind of like, "Oh, actually,
yeah. So they're a quality series, and the thing is, because again, there's about, I don't know, 14 games. It's like a 14, 15 game,
a lot of them."
whatever.
Yeah,
It's extremely, they'll tell you, they tell it over and over. It's getting a remake. The very first game is getting a remake. I played the demo. Demo's like 7 hours. You can play the demo right now for first chapter, for Trails in the Sky first chapter, and you can just see it and play it yourself. It's slow burn is, I think slow burn to a fox. You're like, oh, it's a slow burn. I'm like, well, does anything actually happen? Um, the thing is that there's nothing is like world, like world threatening yet. Anyways, like nothing that goes on in these games is like, okay, if you don't do this, the world's going to blow up if we don't kill the evil dark sorcerer that's threatening to blow up the whole universe or whatever, right?
right.
It's all just sort of political intrigue. There's like, yeah, there's this country, there's these three countries, and one of them, there was a war some years ago, and then the war ended in a sort of ceasefire agreement, and it's a little bit there's a little bit of tension between them, and then there's like, it's basically political intriguings between these three countries, one of them being more rural, and then two being sort of empire versus republic kind of thing, and then there's like a cult in the shadows kind of trying to manipulate stuff. But it's all just very, very slow moving. And I'm going to say low stakes. And people say it's not low, it's low stakes in the sense of like, you play one Final Fantasy game and there's always some world ending threat.
Yeah,
Meteor's going to crash into the planet. Kefka like rearrange the whole world, the whole landscape, kind of thing like that, right? This is just slow moving. And up until Daybreak, they all had a very traditional turn-based RPG. I attack you, you attack me. Um, they had their sort of magic system built into it, whatever. But it was a turn-based RPG. It's been a turn-based RPG. They changed it up a little bit, starting with the latest games and the remake, where if you're a high enough level, you can go and just like in real time smack the monster on the environment, and it'll just die. It'll just give you that XP that you would have gotten, the
yeah.
minuscule amount of XP you would have gotten anyways. Um, so you have like this sort of like leeway to do real time combat as long as the enemy is like low enough level that you don't have to go into a turn based combat to fight it. They usually have a very prog rock soundtrack, as all Falcom games do. Because this is by the way, this is the Yeast People's other series. The people who make
Oh, right.
Yeast,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they make these. They have this long running RPG on the side. Here's
We
my
love
old
prog
manness.
rock.
Here's the old man side of me on this. It's just like, this is fine, but it's not doing, like, to me. I'm like, it's so slow moving that I'm kind of like, well, how I'm finding it tough to get invested because it feels like there's no statement, there's no author. I keep fucking up this word, author intent, authorial intent.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Yeah.
that doesn't feel like there's a clear message or motivation for telling these stories other than to just have a sort of, it's a political intrigue. It's kind of like
Who do we know
it
that
just
said that about the Tales games? Someone
probably
said that
me.
about the Tales games too.
Well,
I'm
Tales games always seem to have some sort of like heart on your sleeve, big emotional. We gotta stop this. It's like Tales of Arise. It's bad to have slaves. Yeah, no kidding, unless you're Republican. Um, But with the Trail series, it's kind of like this.
Ooh.
It's kind of like this weird thing. I'm like, okay, this is very cozy. It's very chill. It's kind of low stakes in a way, and I think a lot of people really gravitate towards that. But I'm sitting here looking at, I'm like, okay, this is like 15 games long. Where's the hook? For me, where's the intrigue where I'm like, I get suckered in and I have to see how this plays out. Because a lot of people are like, oh, it's so great, because one of the standout things of the Trail series is how much effort is put into the NPC dialogue, where after every single minor progression in the story, like everyone in town's dialogue changes.
Wow.
Like everyone has something to say about every event that transpires in the game. Like all
I
the
mean, that's pretty
NPCs.
cool.
It is pretty cool. I'm not going to deny that. That is very cool. And
Maybe
there's
a
a lot
little
of
tedious if
little
you
tedious, yeah. And
have
there's a
to
lot
know
of
what they're
dialogue you
saying.
can miss from that, quests you can miss from because of that.
Hmm.
But it's very cool. So I think that really helps the lived-in aspect feel of it. But it's like to me, it's almost like it's a really good plate with nothing on it.
But
Because
wasn't that also the complaint of, well, not your complaint, of like the East series? Like we liked East 8, but like when people were selling East, any of the other Easts,
yeah, I beat 10. 10 was definitely an upgrade. 9 was like a downturn for me, and then 10 was like a little better. It was not as good as 8, but it was pretty good.
I mean, 8
Um,
was 8 was I don't know if I'd say it was like well, no, 8 was great. I liked 8. Like I
yeah,
played the
8's a
hell out
lot
of
of fun.
it. But
Also,
like
it's very self-contained, which helps.
yeah, well that's the number one thing is like it stands alone. And then I tried to play 7. I forget what the next one that I tried to play, and I sort of lost interest in it.
Hmm. Real fast, yeah.
But like not because it was bad, just it just
Yeah.
wasn't anywhere near as good as 8. But I also feel like you could level that same criticism to, like, say, Yakuza. Any budget game, where it's like they're sort of like reusing assets and pumping games out and stuff. Like I don't know if it's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, to me, I'm like, I don't really have a problem with Trails games, but I'm like, what I don't get, to me, because people like get really into that, I'm like, man, how do you sell this to me when the game is like 15 games long? Like it's like 40 to 80 hours per game, and the actual amount of like significant plot progression is minor, you know? Because like I'm like, okay, so the remake is coming out, and everyone who's gone through it, even people who went through it this year, like Nico Beam shouting you out, has said like, yeah, that first game's really just a prologue. It's really just a setup for the second game. I'm like, how is a whole game a prologue? How is a 40-hour now a possibly 80-hour remake? How is that a prologue for the actual plot in part 2? How do you justify that? Oh, but it's so good if you just get through. No, this is One Piece all over again.
You should read the Book of Malazan.
What is that?
It's 10,000-page fantasy books,
Oh my
and
god.
every single one of them is sort of a slow burn until it's not, and then all of a sudden it's like epic.
Hmm.
Every single one, 1,000 pages.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm on book 9 out of 10. My
Wow.
God, put in time. Time.
So that's the Trails games in a nutshell, where I'm like, it's hard for me to sit there and like, oh, let me get into this, because like if I know I want to see the plot run its course, even if it's like for like whatever
Well,
segment area, it's like, well, that's 3 whole ass 80-hour RPGs you gotta commit to. I'm like, why? And then it's not done, and then there's much more to go after that. Like, oh,
well, it's sort of like the small niche of people that think you have to have played the other Pokemon games to get the newest Pokemon game.
oh my god,
And I was like,
Jesus,
but I
really?
don't.
But I don't.
I'm not going to. I'm gonna play this new one purely because I'm
Well, that
interested
one,
in
like, they're not really story connected. These are all
connected
interconnected
in
story
story.
wise.
That's interesting. Uh,
Like the main character changes like with each like segment. Like Sky is these two characters, and Cold Steel is this character. It's all about this character.
right.
Daybreak's all about this character. You know, for parts 1, 2, and 3 of each.
if you're listening and you're the person that I got that pin for, make a case for the game in a comment or a tweet.
Not even make a case, justify having to play 12 50-hour RPGs.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You don't have to. Like, nobody's forcing you to. But yeah, I don't know that it, like, sometimes when you get to a series like that and it's so daunting, like, do you dive in? You almost need to sell me harder on diving in on the whole series.
Look, man, I spend every week trying to sell people on Xenoblade, and it's 3 games.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm saying, like, if you, and my argument is always like, hey, man, if you only have time and money for one, pick one, and you'll be fine. Be fine. I mean, you don't have to play them all.
You've literally told me the entire story, and I still haven't dove into that game.
Well, now you have no point because I spoiled everything.
Yeah, but it's the experience.
It is. It's the music.
All right, Fat Albert, you got one of our new negative. You know, the weird thing is after so many years of being positive, trying to be positive, it's actually sort of hard to be negative. We've worked so hard on being mostly positive about things that, like,
maybe we'll do a positive episode next time.
Yeah, we'll do a super positive episode all about how Death Stranding is actually good.
We're gonna glaze games next week. Glazing.
All right. Just
this week is raising, next week is glazing.
Whoever the dude of the week is for next week, you're really gonna love that. It's gonna be great. But as always, we have producers to thank. If you're interested in becoming a patron at any level, please check out patreon.com/YoVideogames podcast. Dude of the week was Fat Albert. Thank you so much, dude. And our producers for this episode are Dragon Wolf Makoto, Osnight, SFW, Zybernite, Tsunami, Croy35, LCL Mayhem, and ZZ. Oh, this is going to be coming out on Zybernite's birthday. Happy birthday, bud. I think this will be releasing the day after we record. So yeah, that's
indeed. Happy birthday to Zyber.
I hope you have a good one.
He's finally able to rent a car.
Finally. God. And maybe sleep for more than a couple of hours.
I don't know. That joke may not work. Is that the same everywhere in America, or is that just California?
Oh, the whole 25 thing?
Yeah, you got to be 25 to rent a car.
Well, we all know that Zybernite is actually just like a 17-year-old wunderkind. He's aging in reverse. He's like Benjamin Button. I'm so sorry, Zyber. But have a good night. We'll catch you next time, dudes.
All right, later, dudes.